for the DharmaTalks channel. I'm going to record this too, just in case.
Robin, keep picking on me since yesterday.
Is Robin picking on you?
You're vulnerable.
Okay.
He's very vulnerable.
The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is rarely encountered, even in millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, receive and maintain it. May we completely realize our true awakened nature. Good morning. This morning I'm going to start with a reading from the Book of Serenity. This is one of the koan collections we use. And this is case number 20. It's called Daizong's Nearness. Case. Daizong asked Bayan, "Where are you going?" Bayan said, "Around on pilgrimage." Daizong said, "What's the purpose of pilgrimage?" Bayan said, "I don't know." Daizong said, "Not knowing is nearest." Sometimes this is translated, that last line is translated as not knowing is most intimate, or not knowing is nearest to it. Something like that. Let me go through the verse too. The verse, "Now having studied to the full, it's like before. Having shed entirely the finest thread, he reaches not knowing. Let it be short, let it be long. Stop cutting and patching. Going along with the high, along with the low, it levels itself. The abundance or scarcity of the house is used according to the occasion. Roaming serenely in the land, he goes where his feet take him. The purpose of 10 years' pilgrimage, clearly he turned his back on one pair of eyebrows." I love that expression. One pair of eyebrows. So where are you going? Out on pilgrimage. So the monks or priests during this era used to often practice for 3 months during the rainy season in a monastery, and then they would wander for 3 months, and then there'd be another 3-month practice period, and then they'd wander for 3 months. So I guess there were either 2 rainy periods, or that was just what they ended up doing in terms of the schedule they followed. So it's kind of an interesting thing, because they would pilgrimage and then they'd be in one place, settle down, probably doing a lot of meditating, probably pretty intense practice, and then they would wander for 3 months and go around to different teachers, different situations. So it really reinforced this notion of the monk. We have this word monk, but the word originally meant clouds and water. It emphasized this notion of flow, that you were always flowing, that you didn't have even a fixed location that you called home. That once you became a monk, so to speak, you gave up any fixed location. And this koan is dealing with giving up any fixed location for the mind, right? Because our ego mind always wants to have an idea about what's going on. It's really a powerful thing to be able to just do the pilgrimage and realize you really don't know what the purpose of it is. The thing is we do think we know, and this is the problem. The interesting thing when people come in and haven't broken through to answer a particular koan is a lot of times they'll say, "Well, I don't know what the answer, I just don't know, I don't have any idea." But if we really didn't have any idea, we'd have the answer to the koan. That's the funny thing. It's just that our ideas run very deep. Our ideas and concepts run very deep, and we often don't realize when we have an idea or a concept about something that we are holding it. We think we don't have an idea. Now, when you're working with one of the more entry koans, like for instance mu, it becomes especially poignant, because what happens with mu koan is we start out and we have a lot of ideas about it. We come up with different answers and ideas, but eventually we reach a point where we've reached like a block, and we think we don't have an idea. And when we don't have an idea, it becomes more a feeling in the body, and it can actually feel like this thing in the body. There's, of course, nothing actually there. There's no thing there, but we feel there's something there. We've created something there, a kind of resistance pattern. We don't think we know what that is, but on some level we do know what it is, or it wouldn't be there. It's created by us for a reason. So, can we actually live like this? Now, keep in mind that everything that we talk about here and that I say here is not meant to be something to hold on to then believe in. This is Easter morning. There's lots of places where you can go to get ideas about reality from different groups. They'll tell you what reality is and what you should believe in order to achieve some future goal, like heaven. Here we don't do any of that. We don't provide any answers, and we don't provide anything that needs to be held onto. In other words, whatever we say here today and whatever comes out of this is meant to be a suggestion for something for you to work with in your own life and see if it works for you. You know, experiment. I'm always looking myself at my own body and mind as the laboratory, the lab that I experiment in or with. And rather than having a fixed idea about any of this, see if it works for you. Try it out. If you can come back and say that doesn't work and explain what's going on with that, I'm very happy to dialogue with you about it. Maybe I'll learn something from that dialogue too. I'm sure I will, actually. So, when we're going around on our pilgrimage, right, and our whole life could be looked at as kind of a pilgrimage, we usually feel that there has to be some purpose to it. And in the workshop we did yesterday, in the Zen Dialogue workshop, a few people hit upon that notion. And it can be very disconcerting to the ego mind when it discovers that there's no ultimate purpose. And then it starts grasping, like, there's no purpose. As one person said yesterday, if there's no purpose, then what's the point of all of this? To which I replied, that's an excellent question. It is. That's an excellent question. Now there's the koan, right? There's the koan, is look at, if ultimately there's no ultimate purpose to all this, then what is this about? What is it? Excellent question. Now, unfortunately, when we ask that question, we're usually asking from an answer from an outside source. We're asking an outside source to tell us, an authority figure that we've set up on some throne or pedestal that we've been taught and often believe knows more than we do about our life. We are very trained from a very early age to believe in what other people who are supposedly more knowledgeable about this say, whether it be a priest or a minister or a Zen teacher or a guru or someone in the human potential movement that makes $50,000 a talk. You know, we're taught to believe that those people have information that we don't have. And so we often pay a lot of money, take a lot of time to go and hear them so we can then believe or be encouraged in the beliefs we already have. That's what we really usually want to do, is go pay to be encouraged in the beliefs we already have, to reinforce the beliefs we already have. So when we go see the Dalai Lama,